A changing nation. The biggest issues of our time. This is the historic race for the White House. Live coverage of the vice presidential debate. You're watching a special edition of The Issue Is.
Is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cuts?
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay.
California Senator Kamala Harris, Vice President Mike Pence fakes off for the first and only vice presidential debate. It's a bit more civil than last week, but still plenty of drama tonight and a lot to break down with our panel. Jessica Levinson, Harvey Levin, Bob Shrum, all standing by to share their views. Good evening. Welcome to this special edition of The Issue Is. We are live tonight. I'm Elex Michaelson. Let's begin all of this with Marla Tejas, standing by with Fox 11 viewers to hear their take. Marla.
We want to get their expectations of the night. If those expectations were met, we have two Republicans, two Democrats, one undecided on our Your Take panel, and there they are. So let's start with Fortino. Fortino, we talked earlier, you were looking for civility. You got that, I'd say. You can be the judge. You tell us who won this debate and why.
I really think that Pence did a great job bringing up some real key points. One had to do with the Green New Deal. You know, it's on their website, and they're saying, they keep denying that they're going to follow the Green New Deal. And I think he caught her there in a good one. Another one had to do with Pence saying he's going to hold China accountable. We as Americans, we don't want to be taken advantage of. We need a strong country, someone who's going to enforce laws around the world and here in the United States. So I really feel Pence did a great job.
Yeah, Vice President Pence putting the blame on China for the coronavirus. All right, moving on to Jeannie Harris. Who won and why?
Well, I think they both did a really good job for each of their bosses. I thought that was admirable. There is no question that these two men couldn't be more different. Their policies couldn't be more different. 5 million people have already voted. This will not change anybody's minds. Everyone has already made up their minds except for a very small percentage of people.
All right.
But I thought they both did their jobs tonight.
Okay, so are you calling it a tie?
Well, I, of course, think that Kamala did better than Pence because I believed her more. I didn't think that that Pence was truthful on some of the things that he said. But that being said, he did a great job for his boss.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. All right, Brett, you said you expected to see a debate between two adults tonight. Do you agree with that? Who won the debate and why?
Well, I did. By the way, I posted this on my Facebook page that I think America won tonight. That's what I think happened. I think we had that. I read today that there is the highest statistical possibility that one of these two candidates will be the president of the United States in the next 3 years. The highest probability that's ever happened before. I think it has to do with age and circumstance. So maybe this was a preemptive presidential debate. But being objective, I thought Kamala was great. I thought Pence was great. Here's what I found interesting. I thought Kamala would be on the offensive and Pence would be on the defensive. It was the other way around. I was really surprised about that. I took my notes. I'll go through quickly. I thought Pence was better prepared. I really do. I thought Kamala's answers were very cliche.
Okay, Brett, I'm so sorry. We love your notes, but we got to move on quickly to Dr. Ashley. Who do you think won the debate and why?
Senator Harris definitely won the debate tonight. I think that it was very clear. She made me so proud to be a woman because she showed us what it takes in terms of the class and the grace to be able to hold her own. She answered the questions. She demanded her time equally. That was taken away from her in a lot of different instances. And I think she had a clear win here. Mike Pence definitely did not answer the questions. He pivoted as much as he possibly could. And that was to be expected. And I'm very happy that now she's showing people that she's not this aggressive person that people are making her out to be. She's just a woman who's on her job.
Okay, I have to be the moderator now and ask you, Miriam, to quickly tell us who won the debate and why.
I think the viewers won the debate tonight. We finally got a debate on the issues. And I thought they both did excellent. Pence did a great job highlighting Trump's accomplishments around the economy and trade, and Kamala Harris held the Trump administration accountable for their coronavirus response.
Okay, well, thank you so much to my Your Take panel. I'm Elex surprised no one brought up the fly.
Yes, of course, Mike Pence had a fly on his head, which is all that Twitter is talking about right now, because that was the perfect Twitter moment, a fly that would distract all of us from all of the chaos happening in America right now. Our thanks to Marla and to our Your Take panel. Let's bring in our next panel. Jessica Levinson, law professor at Loyola Law School, Harvey Levin, host of TMZ and TMZ Live right here on Fox 11, and Bob Shrum, the director of USC Center for the Political Future, who was a part of debate preparation processes for several presidential campaigns in the past. So, Bob, because of that experience, let's begin with you. Your thoughts. Was there a clear winner, or, as they said, was America the winner tonight?
Well, look, Trump needed a lot more here to turn the trajectory of this election. He didn't get it. Indeed, the debate may have more to do with 2024 because Kamala Harris was excellent. She was at ease. She was persuasive. She was an authentic presence. Sure. She never lost her cool. Pence, by contrast, and I think this is going to get picked up, he was no Trump, but he was obnoxious in the way he dealt with Harris and with the moderator, Susan Page. I think Susan Page must have said, Mr. Vice President, like 75 times. Suburban women will recoil from that, from a man treating the moderator a woman and treating his opponent a woman that way. And Trump's already in a deep hole with them. He needs to make up ground there.
I think what she said was, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Harvey Levin.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Let's go to your thoughts.
Well, first of all, the fly is also a TMZ moment, Alex. So get that right, okay? So, you know, look, I mean, we talked about this before. I think these debates generally are kind of ridiculous just because it's like a high school debate. You have 2 minutes to talk about how you change the world. So that said, the loser tonight, to me, is anybody who sits in that anchor chair, because it is got to be humiliating. Both candidates repeatedly, almost, I mean, I didn't count how many times, but I believe it was the majority of times, they didn't answer the questions. They had an agenda, and they wanted to say what they wanted to say. And, you know, if you know, Susan asked a question that didn't move the needle the way they wanted it to move, they would go someplace else. And honestly, I kind of get that they are not just trying to win a debate, they're trying to win an election. So when they are listening to a question that isn't necessarily going to resonate for their ticket, they could just move to something else, and they did it. But it has got to be humiliating for these anchors in these debates because they're just ignored.
Right.
There were no gaffes, and I think people tend to lose debates rather than win debates. And I don't think there were any. They both did fine. I think the person who wins is the person whose views you subscribe to most. Right. And I think you can watch this, you know, it's the director, you know, Rashomon. It's Rashomon. You can look at the same thing differently. And I think based on the views of the viewer, that will determine who they believe won this debate.
Yeah, as they say, answer the question you wish you were asked. Some of the political people will tell you. Jessica Levinson, your thoughts?
Well, it wasn't a dumpster fire in the middle of a cyclone when a hurricane hits. As we talked about, it feels like 100,000 years ago, but last week. So I agree with everything that was said. And I think the most important takeaway is your take panel, which shows that this really is a Rorschach test. If you're predisposed to support Trump-Pence, then you think Trump did a great job and vice versa. I will say for people who thought, oh, absolutely, you know, Kamala Harris is going to just sweep the floor with him. Remember that Vice President Pence's secret sauce is being able to say almost anything in this incredibly calm, incredibly reassuring, very rational tone. And it's really hard to continue to say, but you're blatantly lying, or those simply aren't the facts. And so I tend to think that this doesn't end up moving the needle. I think as of today, about 5.1 million people have already voted. But, you know, no dumpster fires. I also don't think this actually was a full airing of the issues. look, Vice President Pence is going to have a very long list of fact checks at the end of this.
Well, you know, I think the big winner was, in addition to the fly, was Maya Rudolph of Saturday Night Live, because she gets to do all those facial expressions coming up this weekend. And there was a lot of material to work with there from Senator Kamala Harris. All right, more with our panel, a lot more to talk about. How does this affect the election going forward? The Issue Is continues right after this. Welcome back to the special edition of The Issue Is. Joining us right now, Jessica Levinson, Harvey Levin, Bob Shrum are with us. Around the horn to each of you, where does the race go from here, real quickly? Jessica Levinson.
The race goes basically into the same place. I don't think that this helps with women because of all the interruptions. I wish that hurt with both men and women equally, but that's not where we are yet.
Harvey Levin, where do we go from here?
Well, you could follow this debate as opposed to the last one. So I think the next debate, if it happens, if President Trump is COVID negative and they actually have the debate, if he does that next time what he did last time, it's going to be awful for him, because now people see what a debate can look like.
Interesting. Bob?
I think it's already awful for him. He, every day with every set of polls, he gets in worse and worse shape. And I think tonight didn't do anything to change that. So we go on to the next debate. I don't expect Donald Trump to be any different, Harvey, because I think this reflects his conduct in that first debate reflected who he really is and how he thinks he can win this election. He can't win it that way.
At least in the polls so far. Obviously, we've seen polls in the past have not always been correct, but the polls right now would indicate that Joe Biden would win the election and win it with a pretty nice margin as well. So we'll see if some sort of event in the next few weeks is able to change that. All right, we're going to have more with The Issue Is right after this. We encourage you to join us Friday on our regular political show, The Issue Is. 10:30 p.m., Mayor Pete Buttigieg will be our guest. Our thanks tonight for this special short edition to Jessica Levinson, Harvey Levin, Bob Shrum for sharing your views. Excellent, guys. Our thanks to our Your Take panel, Marla Tejas, with all of their things. Vanna White, nicely done. Excellent. Bye, guys. We'll have more on all of this tonight on a special edition of the Fox 11 News at 10 p.m. with Christine Devine and myself. We'll see you later. Have a great night.